Oh my gosh. Yes, yes. Everybody, it must be a Monday night. Yes. And I do have my microphone, by the way, that you're so used to seeing me use on a Monday night. Oh my gosh. Tonight we're doing something a little bit different. We got an interview. Yes, everyone. And you've probably seen that in my Instagram posts, my Facebook posts. Yes, we got a friend on this evening. But before we get to him, how's everyone doing? That's great to see everybody in the chat tonight. We're having a good time. As you know, about 7 or 8 days ago, I was down south. I was in Georgia visiting a friend, and I'll tell you, the cost of living down south is way better than where I live. I can't believe what you can get for a house down there. And here we are up north saying, I live in this compared to that. That's what we do. It's crazy. Oh, my word. But I'm Anthony the Molar Man. You've seen me on all sorts of shows, everyone. I still perform all the time. You've seen me on Dave Letterman, The Gong Show. You've seen me also on America's Got Talent, season 16. And also, you may be wondering, hey, do I have social media? Of course I do, everyone. You've seen me on Instagram, Anthony_Molar Man. There it is. Facebook group, Anthony the Molar Man. Same thing. Just look it up. You get it. And if you want to become a member to the channel, just less than a cup of coffee or a teacup, you can become a member to the channel right there. And the link above, everyone, you'll see it there. And I appreciate everyone who does that because that goes right back into it. It's good to see everyone. Oh, my. So to get things started, let's go say hello to the chat real quick. Let's say,
how you doing?
As Joey says, he always says, how you doing? That's right. That's right. So first off, hey, Triton's been a member for 16 months. Has it been that long, Triton? Hopefully you have your shirt on tonight watching this. Yes. Michelle Kamara is here. Michelle Kamara, she lives where I used to. That's where I was born, where she lives right now. Nifty Nick, good to see you, buddy. Nifty's in here. Jimmy Tiger, yes, Jimmy, good to see you, buddy. Hope everything's well down there in Louisiana. Your Saints beat my Patriots 2 weeks ago. My Patriots are all over the place right now. Pierce Sargent is in here. I knew he'd be in here tonight. Yep, that's right. Nathan Rita, what's up? Good to see you. Tampa King, how you doing, buddy? I know we need a dunk tank tonight. We need people to go down and in. Pierce, thank you. 15 months for Pierce. That's right. Oh my gosh, Green Giant. Oh, you're not going to disappoint. You're not going to disappoint, Triton. I'm sorry. Unbelievable. I'm sure you didn't have a shirt on up here in Maine either, but now that you're in Florida, I know it's not on. It's definitely not on. Good to see everybody in here. Chad Jackson, Theo, Sam Eagle made it in. How you doing? They're still putting in the camel symbols. I love it. Sean Urban and Clayton made it in. How you doing, Sean? Sean just made it back from Disney. Hey, there's Christopher. Share a Dream Come True made it in. And Christopher, I just want to congratulate you and your 1,000 subscribers as well. I've been seeing that. All Smiles. Vicky made it in. Oh, we got a lot of regulars coming back. I know it's been a while for me to go live from home. If you guys want to go check out, I did a live from Georgia. I was at an animal park where I'm actually feeding animals out in the wild in a van. You got to see me feeding these buffalo with my hand. There was slobber, as we say in Boston, slobber all over me. You can just go check it out when you get a chance, everyone, and give that a like. John the Barber's in here. Cindy Poirier, how you doing? Good to see you. I just want to say yo-ho-ho, Green Giant. Okay, I know I saw you. 15 months for the Urban Man. I love it. It's been a long time, Sean. All right, so here we go. We're going to bring in our guest tonight, and let's bring him on right now. He's been backstage.
There was slobber.
Slobber. See, you're learning my lingo now. You're learning it.
You know where there's no slobber? Anywhere Triton's not wearing a shirt.
That's gross. That's gross all over it. Oh, man. Everyone, this is Brian. So, Brian, we know him as originally on YouTube as Brian and Amanda, then Florida Park Passholder. And now Brian, he continues to go to the parks, everyone, all the parks. Yeah. He just does it on his own, and he has his social media still. And so, Brian, I love having you back on again. You're fun to watch. I've been watching you for a while, even when you were streaming.
Yeah.
Now, you go all the way back to what, Texas?
Yeah. I originally was in Houston, and we would come out here, and we would just come out here. I mean, we had annual passes.
Yeah.
And we came out here, and Amanda and Chris would just go and do the parks, and I would bring the GoPro and I'd film. And then I put videos up there, and then we announced we were going to be moving down here. And how everything got started is somebody from Streaming the Magic called me and said, "Hey, I hear you're coming down. I need another streamer." And that's really how it started. I had no intention of doing live streams.
Oh, wow.
I built a big following doing that. Never really intended to do that. It was never my intention. I was just gonna. Ever since even when I was a kid, I used to love going and filming the rides and then going back home and watching the rides just to relive that moment of being at the park. And that was really what it was for me. I wasn't trying to be famous. I wasn't trying to build a crazy ass mug collection. I wasn't trying to get spun on teacups or see weird crap like Figment. But it just kind of happened that way, you know.
So you made that move from Texas to Florida pretty much on a whim. You had no connections like to stay. Okay.
We had just we were kind of at a place where Amanda could work she could work anywhere she wanted to. And, you know, I had retired a few years earlier, and it just became a deal where I needed something to kind of keep me busy. I mean, and Texas is a wonderful place. I love Texas. I miss the food. I miss the people. But, you know, basically I wasn't really doing much because there wasn't much to do. And, you know, all the parks were far away from Houston. And so the thought is I would just, you know, go to the park and hang out, film, and put a video up. And it blossomed into what it blossomed into. And it was all unintentional. It was never supposed to happen that way. And, you know, and it was a pretty amazing thing because I've made some great friends doing this. And
I can imagine.
It's been such an amazing deal. A lot of people came down a couple of weeks ago. And, you know, we got a chance to really spend time with everybody. And it's just amazing that the power of this in the short time that I did it, that it built such a close-knit community.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm very, very grateful for.
I was going to say, you must have met a lot of other streamers, first of all, because many people do it. Yeah.
By the way, I miss you. I miss you, Michelle. I just saw Michelle said, I miss your streams. I miss you.
Yeah. Yep.
I miss doing it. I'm sorry, Anthony. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's right. I'll try to highlight them as they're coming in. I see what they're saying in there too. Yeah, yeah. So, so you started streaming down there. Someone called you to do it, but I mean, was this another streamer you were supposed to be doing something with, like a partnership, or?
Well, basically, the guy that used to run Streaming the Magic lived in New York City.
Oh.
And he ran it he ran the channel as a business. And he had a YouTube channel, and then he had a Facebook, and it's still there. I mean, there's a lot of people on YouTube that are unaware of it, but if you go on Facebook and look at Streaming the Magic, it's a big, big deal. They have a crap load of people there.
Wow.
And it wasn't, it's really how I built a lot of people that found me from Streaming the Magic. And he had called me, and basically he would hire streamers, didn't really pay a lot, but you got a chance to stream and have a huge audience. Because when you stream, when you're nobody, you may get 4 people, and none of them are going to talk.
No.
So
yeah.
So it's bizarre that the first time I did it, I was trying to talk him out of it. I was just like, this isn't, it's not going to be something I want to do. This is not something that, I was totally trying to talk him out of it. But I said, look, I'll go down there. I'll log into the account. I'll do a live stream. I'll do it for like an hour. And I'll tell you, we'll go to Magic Kingdom, and I'll tell you. And then after, I'll tell you if I want to do it again. And he's like, okay. And then I do it, and there's like several hundred in there. And it was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. It was so, I was so uptight before it happened. I was so nervous. And then I did it and it flew by. And it was like I was having a hard time stopping the stream because we were only going to do it for a little bit. And so after we did it, I go, hell yeah, I'll do this.
Mhm. That's
And it
awesome.
was and so what the agreement was is you know, he would have me go for 3 hours. And I said, hey, if I go a little over, can I mention the channel? And he goes, and that's something he typically didn't allow, but he allowed me to do that. And that's how I built my following.
There you go. Oh my gosh. So your family joined you. I see you with your son and your wife was out there. They've obviously
Yeah.
enjoyed it, right?
I think everything was better when Amanda was involved.
Yeah.
I think, and it was easier for me because having her there, you know, my memory is not the greatest because of my condition, and a lot of times that was evident because I would start talking and then I would totally either lose track of what I was talking about
Mm.
or I would forget what I was going to say. And it was nice to have her there to kind of back me up in a lot of things because she would know what I was trying to say.
Mhm.
And but she actually got burned out before I did, and she got hurt at work one time where her shoulder got really, really damaged, and she just really kind of didn't want to do it anymore. And then, but I was so in love with doing it that I kept doing it. But as time went on, there was a lot of things that happened that made it not as much fun. My health was becoming an issue. My blood pressure was going sky high, and it became something that wasn't as fun to do anymore. The highlight of it was meeting people at the parks. The highlight of it was seeing all the names of everybody that was waiting in chat. That's always a joy for me.
Yeah.
Um, but after a while, it just became too hard to do. It was a struggle for me to do it the days I was doing it, and I there's people that do this 7 days a week. I honestly have no idea how they do it. And once I stopped, I will tell you there was a huge relief that I wasn't having to do it anymore. I was so burned out and so tired that I didn't realize how burned out and tired of it I was. And when I stopped, I thought there would be this urge to go and do it again, and there actually wasn't. Um, I actually enjoyed just being at home and
Yeah.
not really doing anything. It was kind of nice.
Man, you were in such a routine of doing it. You enjoyed it for a while, and then the I don't know if it was the joy of doing everything at once. You know, just stopping made you feel good, right? I mean,
It was it was really good, but
yeah.
I tell you, I wanted to for a long period of time. Kind of what happened is there was this progression. In the beginning, everything was really, really good. We were rolling.
Mhm.
I was happy. It just seemed so much fun. It was so much fun.
Mhm.
And then dealing with most of my mods, I would say 90% of my mods were just amazing, and some of them are good friends even
Mhm.
today. But I dealt with a lot of problems that ended up being lingering problems that just made things worse and worse and worse. And as time went on, I was dealing with more and more bombs going off. And couple that with, I was with Sprint in the beginning, and I was allowed to do 1080 unlimited streams, no problem. And then Sprint gets bought out, and the plan that I was on didn't matter. The carrier was like, "Oh no, you're not going to have unlimited internet." And then I started getting throttled. So every time that I went to Magic Kingdom or a park like that, it would just become it would become. And see, here I am. I'm forgetting that term. It would just jump. I mean, it would like stop, and you would lose me.
Yeah.
And and that became extremely frustrating. It became very hard. And then somebody suggested I go to another carrier. I go to another carrier, and I said, okay, I'm not going to be throttled if I come here. Oh no, you won't be throttled.
Yeah,
I was.
you were.
And, and it's like, when you go into a building at Disney, you're going to have connection issues. You totally know that's coming. But when you are in the middle of this, you're outside, you have sky, you should not have that problem. And I was having that issue, and it was beyond frustrating. And because I just got into another contract, I was kind of stuck for a while. And YouTube, while the analytics were favoring me, once that started happening, the analytics started really going against me. And by the time I was able to get to a carrier that didn't throttle the connection, it was kind of too late. And I went out, and I went out and got an iPhone, and went with a different carrier, and the connection was as good as it was in the beginning. And the analytics were just not favoring me. That was frustrating. And then every day it seemed like I was putting out a fire. Every single day it seemed like there was just something going on.
Didn't you lose your channel at one time, or was that not you?
Yeah, the channel went down.
It went down. I remember that.
And it was just nuts. I had somebody try to fire a cast member at Disney.
Yeah.
I had people accusing me of having an affair.
Whoa.
Yes, I was having, according to, I was finding out that people were accusing me of having affairs. It was unbelievable. And in my condition, I am not geared to handle all this. There was, I remember I lived in Vegas one time, and I was, this is before everything happened with my condition. And I remember when Michael Jackson was arraigned. Do you remember that when that happened?
Yeah.
I was at a casino in Vegas, and he flew in, and it was quiet. It was a weekday. It was dead as a doornail. I was at Green Valley Ranch, and all of a sudden, hell broke loose. There were people all over. They were all media. There were like 20 helicopters in the sky. And I was like, I remember I left. It was so nuts that I left. And we were going to go watch, I forget what we were going to watch. This was like 2004 or 5, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. But I remember it just being nuts. And I remember thinking to myself, my God, how does this guy deal with that? Being under that spotlight. Here I was in a similar situation, but not even close to what he is dealing with or what he was dealing with. And I just sit there and thought, this is nuts. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And it wasn't even on that level. I honestly just looked at what he was going through, and it was like, I don't need this. And somebody did something really, really jacked up. And I was like, that's it. I'm done. And I shut the whole thing down. I immediately went into YouTube and just said, and took down the entire channel. I brought it back. I still got to go through and re-add all the streams and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably gonna need help with Amanda and stuff to do that because it's a lot. But
can't believe that, Brian. It's amazing. I'll tell you something, Brian. And I only been doing this 2 years, just for like 9 months at a pop. And you meet a lot of nice people, like you said, a lot of nice people, and
they're just a bunch of jackasses. I mean,
yeah, I know. You fire a lot of them. I know you do. And but there is a handful. And I'll tell my chat too, there's a handful of individuals who are either haters, trolls, who do not want you to succeed. And they try to message you. I get messages from these people, and I do my best to ignore them. So we do have that in the back of our minds at the same time. So you guys know, out there. We get a mixture of people all the time.
I'm gonna tell you, there's a site called Tattle or something like that, and every YouTuber, it's like a forum. It's this huge forum, and people go in there and just gossip about YouTubers and streamers and the bigger they are.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to name any names, but there are streamers that go in there that actually go in there to defend themselves. It is absolutely insane.
I wouldn't put myself
Um,
in the ring. Never. Oh,
and I'm just like, it's nuts.
yeah. Yeah.
And again, I didn't get into. I'm not somebody that just needs to stand in front of a camera and say, "Look at me." I just wanted to throw up videos. If people watched them, people could watch them. They didn't watch them. I had no idea I was going to be as good at this as I was. That was a shock to me because I thought, who in the world would want to watch this jackass walk around scooter, a mobility scooter at a park? But then, the other things I was dealing with, I had people that questioned my disability. First of all, if you
That's gotta
want,
be. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible.
I had it happen in the middle of a stream. I had somebody, when Happily Ever After came back, I had somebody that was harassing me about being in the disability area, that I wasn't disabled. It's like, you could look at me, and this was a park goer, and I had to be careful because, there's kind of this unwritten rule that, some streamers don't care, but I don't want to be a disruption to the park. Because streaming I always felt it was a luxury to be able to stream at the park. So I didn't want to have any incidences with guests. But here I am, I'm minding my own business. I am streaming, I'm in the disability area, and it was pouring. So the first problem they had an issue with, Happily Ever After wasn't even going to start for another 2 hours. But they couldn't see the castle. And my umbrella, and I mean, it is pouring. It's Central Florida. It's in the late after evening. It's pouring, raining. And somebody and they're tech because they can't see the castle, because I'm using the castle to shelter myself and the scooter from a downpour. So they're mad about that. And they're sitting there behind me with no umbrella, just getting down. It's just like, you obviously aren't smart. But then you're yelling at me for me taking shelter. And then you have the audacity to say, I don't have a disability. And that's insane. But people were then questioning me having the DAS. And, people are like, well, he just uses the scooter to get the DAS. I'm going to tell you right now, anybody that ever goes to Disney knows that you don't get the DAS by sitting in a wheelchair or a scooter. You get the DAS because there is a legitimate reason why you can't be in that line for, whatever the standby time is. And if it's a mobility issue, they're not going to give you DAS. And there is a legitimate reason. I'm not going to sit here and tell people what it is.
Right.
But because that's none of anyone's business. But I have a legitimate reason. And it's not, there was a surgery that I had to have. And because of that surgery, I cannot sit there and wait in a regular standby line. There were certain times where I would wait in a standby line, like Slinky Dog. I felt like I could do Slinky Dog because there's so much open area, and there was areas where I could get out. But like Rise or something crazy like that, no, I would never be able to do that. So there were times where I would maybe try it. And like Everest is a great example. Everest is an easy one to get out of if you have to.
Yep.
But there's a lot of attractions that you don't want to do that with. Flight of Passage is a great example. I would never wait in Flight of Passage because I wouldn't be able to wait that long.
Right.
But it has nothing. But it's not like I'm getting I'm getting over on somebody. And I will tell you, if there are people that do take advantage of DAS, and Disney does does have the ability in the verbiage to go after them if they do. But that was never my intent. I never, if I, God, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I could stand up
Yeah.
and do this, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to be in that scooter or wheelchair. It's not something I've ever wanted to do.
Brian, I felt guilty once, and I'll be honest with you. I have a friend here in Massachusetts who's disabled. She has a service dog, and we went to Disney with them. So she has one of those big tickets you get for a DAS,
Yeah,
and they can add more people to it. This is back a number. I don't know what they're doing now. So they had like guests you could write down. So she included my family with it.
yeah,
There are three of us who are capable and able on her desk. So whenever she would go into a line, we'd follow her and get that privilege. But
yeah.
I felt so guilty walking all the way through the line. She's really not my family, but she's a friend who included me in her family, you know?
But you shouldn't feel guilty because you're spending the day together.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The scooter, because I can't stand or walk for a long period of time. When I do, I am a high risk to fall because I get tired. I get really, really tired. And I, the DAS and the scooter allow me to go and enjoy the park.
Mm-hmm.
And, I want to be able to enjoy it with people that I like and care about, especially family. So I look at it as, they're with me, spending time with me when I can go and do that. And so you shouldn't feel guilty. You're giving that person, a great day that they ordinarily wouldn't have. Um, you know, before that this all became a deal, I'm sure people just kind of went without. I don't know how all this came together. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But I'm sure at some point people just didn't feel like they could go to a theme park.
No.
And so you're giving that experience. But I know a lot of people want to know, hey, are you ever going to come back and do this? And I got to tell you, my blood pressure was so high because of everything that I had talked about that I was dealing with. My dad had a stroke in his 50s. And I was thinking about this right around the time all this kind of happened. And once I realized how high my blood pressure was, I was like, I need to stop because, that was 20 something years ago that happened. And I don't want it to happen to me.
No.
So, obviously, it happened to him. It could happen to me. I'm his son.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see something that, like, you look at something just breaks my heart is when I see people like Bruce Willis.
Uncommunicable now, right?
Huh?
He can't communicate right now, right?
Yeah, he can't communicate. It just breaks my heart to see
Mm-hmm.
him. Like, I've seen videos, that are on Instagram. The family shared,
Mm-hmm.
and it's awful.
Yeah.
One of the medications that I take when I go to the doctor, they're asking me memory questions. My doctors believe that down the road I could start having symptoms of dementia. I mean, they feel like I'm having symptoms. So I really want to spend as much time. I nearly lost my life in my early 40s with my stomach because of polyps and massive bleeding. And I made it 10 years. I think we're now in 11 or 12 years. I would like to be able to go 40 years. If I could go 30 years, that would be a gift. If I could live to be older than that and still be able to spend as much time with my family as I can, then I want to do that. And I just feel like streaming and health just are contradicting. Are not contradicting. They're just two things that just don't go parallel, in my opinion. And that's why I really have to walk away.
I applaud you for that, Brian. I really do, because you got to know yourself. You got to know yourself and not feel the pressure of everyone else who want you to keep going, and you know you really want to do that for them, but you're
Yeah.
doing what's best for you, and they need to understand. That's it.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I got to tell you, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's like, "Okay, do you have any kind of do you just itch to go back?" And I said, "Well, in the beginning, no, but I have an angel and a devil. I'm kind of like Kronk in
Mhm.
Emperor's New Groove. I got the devil and the angel, except I'm not. I don't have that clueless look like he does. But the devil's like, "Oh, go ahead and stream. You can do it. You should be able to do it. You know, you need to get back in there. You need to do, you know." And the angel's like, your family doesn't want you to do it anymore. It was killing you slowly. Um, the drama is still there. Um, you know, and then me and the angel just tell the devil to shut the hell up. that's pretty.
That's pretty much what happened.
That's what happens.
Wow, wow. Brian, thank you so much for explaining that. I knew many people had their own ideas of why you stopped, and you said you were willing to come on the show and explain the real reason why.
Yeah.
But everyone, he still goes to the parks. You can
Nope.
follow him on his Facebook, his Instagram. You know, he posts stuff, and you get to see what he's doing. But
So
it's just, yeah, it's unfortunate. Like Lindsay said here, people are cruel and say things like that. I mean,
yeah.
a lot of people feel her way. They've been saying that throughout the night too.
Yeah.
But,
But you know something? I'm going to tell you something.
yeah,
And I'm going to be. We were at Yeehaw Bob,
yeah, I love them.
and a group. You know, I've got a Discord. I've got the Facebook group. Our community that we built through all this they're just an amazing group of people. There's so many. I mean, my God, there's so many. Pierce is part of that.
Yeah,
Um, you know, AAU, Gator, Mike, uh, Abigail. God, there's so I feel bad because I know I'm forgetting people. You know, there's Michelle. There's
Chad. Yeah, Chad.
God,
Yeah,
there's so many
yeah.
people, and I remember Christina. She was there, and she came up to me, and there were so many people there that night, and she goes, "Brian, what is that? How does it make you feel that you brought all?" And I mean, these people are friends. They booked their trips so they could all hang out together with me, with Amanda, and they did this on their own. And I mean, this is the friendships that were created. And Christina goes, "You made this happen."
Mm. Wow.
I didn't think I was going to do that. I can't tell you what that means.
Mm-hmm.
It just
You did a great job. You did.
it's you know, so yeah, I can't you know, I can or I won't, or however you want to say it. I can't go back and do what we were doing before, but my God, it's a beautiful thing what we got now. It
Yeah,
really is.
yeah, yeah. Brian, I've watched you not from the beginning. I met up with you about halfway through Brian and Amanda, and I love that you got to do so many things. You know what I mean? In the course of a day, you interacted with your chat so frequently, even challenges at times. And for everyone in my chat who knows you, why would you fire people? How did that even come about when you started doing that? Like, why would you fire someone?
It's the funniest thing. I don't remember exactly how it happened. I just remember somebody said something, and I was just like, you know what, you're fired for that. I mean, it was something so wrong, and I was just like, you know what, I can't even, you know, it was somebody that I really really liked in chat. I cannot remember who it was,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, you know what, you're just fired. And I think it kind of started like that.
Okay.
I would have to go back to the beginning. You know, it may have happened in when I was on STM. But it was one of those moments where it was just one of those things that just happened in stream. You know, and there was a lot of times like that. There's honestly a lot of things that I mentioned in stream that I wish I could go back and never utter a word.
Oh.
One of those things was the Figment ride. If I could go back in time, if I had Doc Brown's time machine and I could go back, I would tackle the Brian that utters, I hated the end of that ride. And I frankly can't stand that ride. Because one thing people will do is if there's something you don't like, they all pounce and they all want you to do it because they know you're in misery.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes like a cat and mouse game. And that was one of the things that I think we did on our channel that nobody else would do is we would play around with that. And sometimes it went too far where we were alienating newer viewers
Mm-hmm.
where some got it, some didn't. And there were times where I was like, oh God, if I hear anything about damn Figment, Sparks,
Yeah.
teacups, I'm going to go through the screen and just
Don't do it tonight. Don't do it tonight because I might have one of these firings live. Hold on, Brian.
okay.
I just want to
Well,
say
I can tell you right now, Pierce is fired just for being in the chat.
okay. I think he already fired himself.
Thank you for putting on a shirt. And Pierce is fired.
Oh yes. That was a classic. That was a classic. Oh my gosh, you got them both. You got them both.
What's is I actually fired Pierce once, like legit, and we brought him back. And I got to tell you, I really like Pierce a lot.
Yeah,
I joke around with Pierce a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Pierce is one of my favorite people that we did this. That you know I've come in contact with. He's been through a lot in the community. The community's not been very fair to him, and I wanted Pierce to know that I stuck by him. And I mean, he knows this. This isn't anything new. And to a lot of things, he stuck by me through a lot of things, and became somebody on the mod side that I came to rely on at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed having Pierce around. There were times where I wanted to throw things at Pierce when would say purple, dark, and crap like that. But I gotta tell you, just a fine individual.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I can't be more prouder and happier for an individual than I am Pierce on his personal success. He is just an amazing individual and a very accomplished individual, and I've got nothing but love and respect for Pierce.
He likewise says it back. He's saying it right there in the chat. Yeah. It's mutual. It's mutual fun and respect for each other. That's awesome.
Now he's a pain in the ass, but he's a great.
Yeah. Oh man.
And if he's ever in town, you should go hang out with him. He's
no, I'm heading to Miami sometime before March.
Yeah.
I know he lives down that way, so maybe we can do it then. Maybe we can do it then. So Brian, just a few things. The chat has been asking questions. I haven't really been getting to them. So if you had a question, I'll highlight it and we'll do quick questions with Brian. But I know he does respect Figment a lot because I got a picture of him. Have you met Figment in person yet?
Yeah, he scared the hell out of me.
There he is.
Actually, I had him in the scooter. I had it where I could perfectly run his ass over. But
okay.
But I didn't feel like being the bad guy in Disney media, so I decided
you would have.
Yeah.
You know when you get
locked and loaded.
When you get a picture with Figment, right? You also get this in the background.
Oh God. somehow I and Pierce are working against me here.
Man.
It could be Gator too.
All right, here we go. Here comes who was fired the most. Pierce wants to know who was fired the most. Do you know?
It was between him and the late great Adam the Bomb.
Oh yes, I remember Adam.
I once fired Adam over and over and over again. I actually just said Adam's fired. Adam's fired. I mean, I just did it like 100 times,
Mhm.
and I did it to Pierce like that as well. But Adam never. Adam would always say, because he knew I love Texas, and I took a lot of pride in Texas barbecue. So Adam was who I consider probably one of the greatest trolls that I think ever lived in the Disney community. He was just freaking hilarious, and somebody that on a personal level I really do miss. And I will tell you, he would screw with me about Texas barbecue and say nothing's better than a good Texas brisket with ketchup on it. I mean, he would just screw with me any way he could. Pierce, it was we had a lot of great moments in the chat with Pierce. One of the funniest things, there was a period where Pierce kept paying to have me go do Figment. He called it a Figment fund. So if I was at Epcot, it would be like a $2 here, $3 here, $5 here to go ride Figment, and I would usually just ignore it.
There it is.
And then I would finally go and do it to shut him up. And there was like this period where stuff kept happening, and whether it would have been a connection issue, like right where the Moon Man was. One time we were on the ride, and Pierce really wanted to do it, right? So we got to do it, and as soon as the lights come back on, there's Figment, and then they start doing that god awful annoying song. We go out there, and the projection for the Moon Man wasn't on, and Amanda was with me, Chris was with me, and we were busting out laughing. It was one of the best moments in stream.
That's awesome.
And it was the greatest. It was the funniest thing.
Oh my gosh, they love it. The chat loves it. They know it. They know what's going on. That's funny. We have some more questions here. Maybe we can bang these out. Let me go back up because I missed one from Triton here. How many copy rolls have you sat on? Okay, how many copy rolls have you sat on?
A copy roll.
A copy roll.
What's a copy roll?
Coffee. 2 F's.
Oh, how many coffees have I?
Copy rolls have you sat on?
Oh, he's talking about the Mickey Cinnamon roll. That's what he's talking about. That's another good streaming story. Amanda, we went into the Starbucks and she bought the Mickey Cinnamon roll, for those of you that don't know the story. And she was going to eat it later. And we leave Starbucks. It's cold out. And during the stream, by the way, when you're live streaming at the parks, you're so into what's going on in that screen that you're just oblivious to whatever's going on elsewhere. And I sat up. Amanda had gone somewhere. I had sat up to readjust because I'd been sitting in the chair in the scooter stall, and I was moving some things around. Somehow, I don't know how, but somehow that cinnamon roll ended up in my chair, and I forgot about it, and I sat down on it. So fast forward, we were at the Polynesian, and Chris was getting, it was either Chris or it was me and Amanda that were getting a Dole Whip. And she goes, "Where's my cinnamon roll?" And then I sat up and I go, "Oh, it's right here." And she goes, and I mean, it's flat as a pancake. It is so
wow, those are thick too.
She was, yeah, I know. She so outraged at me. She was so mad at me. It's not even funny.
Oh my gosh.
And so, she goes, "I don't want this since it's been underneath your butt." And, she says that on stream. And I said, "Well, at least it's still warm."
Oh, that's gross. Oh gosh. Yikes. Oh my gosh. So when you go to the parks, would you rather go early in the morning or stay late at night if you had the option?
So I got to tell you, I love going in the morning. I love getting there early, and getting in there. I honestly, I hate, like, I could do the parks late at like
Mhm.
Hollywood Studios or Epcot or Animal Kingdom because it's easy to get out of there.
Mhm.
Magic Kingdom definitely during the morning, because when you go to leave, you're not in firework traffic. And God bless Walt. Walt was
Yeah.
a visionary, and he had vision on things that I can't even imagine in that time frame. He was so ahead of his time. But putting Magic Kingdom so far away from the parking lot was one of the worst things I ever. And
Traffic.
it's one of the worst things. It's one of the things about Magic Kingdom that drives me nuts. Leaving Magic Kingdom after fireworks.
Yeah.
So I love Happily Ever After. I love it with all my heart. It's the greatest fireworks show I've ever seen. But I would say the mornings.
The mornings. Okay.
But
That's
you take me to any other theme park, and I don't mind staying late.
yeah, right. I know. Sometimes you get a good ride at midnight. I like those too.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
I mean, half the time the stuff's to walk on.
Yeah.
I just hate middle of the day when it's at its busy.
I know. I have Gator sending me photos to my phone right as we speak. So he's got pictures of Yeehaw Bob and all that stuff too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So just letting you know that he's sending them to me. I'm just making mention of it to you.
I was now a lot of people were having generous amounts of alcohol.
Yeah.
I was not one of them because
Oh,
I
okay.
was there with my phone camera, and I did not want any incriminating evidence.
Okay. Okay. I got pictures. Now. I didn't. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And by the way, Gator is a great guy. I love him.
Yep. I got to meet him. In fact, he frequents the west side of Florida, an area that I have a place in, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What attraction do you miss the most?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't just have one. I have I love Haunted Mansion. Love Haunted Mansion. I think of all the Disney rides, that pound for pound is my favorite. I mean, the Sherman Brothers, the writing in the song is just so damn good. And, the technology that it took to bring that thing alive at the time that they did it is just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that's been done to it since to make it even better. I mean, Rise of the Resistance is an amazing attraction. Guardians of the Galaxy, both at Disneyland and at Epcot, are great attractions. But I will always have a special place in my heart for Haunted Mansion. I love that ride. So I'm not gonna say I miss it because I ride it all the time. But I will tell you, that was the one I hated streaming on because the lighting is so bad with the phone, with the camera.
Okay, I thought you might have said something like the teacups, like you missed that. But let's see what we.
I wasn't ready. Can we have a countdown? Oh God. Oh God. I got nothing to look at. Oh God, there's Chucky. That's even worse. Oh my God. Oh. Holy God. Oh my God. Dude, look at the gimbal. The gimbal's all jacked up. Oh my God. Mike, think of the children.
I'm just hard to stuck in.
Oh, son of a. Oh my God. That break is gonna suck. Oh my God. Just try not to think about it. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is awful. Oh.
You tried.
Oh my God. That chili dog. You gotta think about the chili dog. Oh. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh. Oh. Oh God. Oh. I'm done for the year. I ain't doing it again after that.
Oh, Brian, we got some classics with you. Huh? These were sent to me by a lot of your fans, and I had to include some of them tonight in there. Oh,
For one of them's fired. You're fired for showing it. Everybody's
I've been fired before. I got another one. Oh my gosh, Brian, that's awesome.
I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
There was one day we did it early that day, and over at Cosmic Rays, they were still serving breakfast, and you could smell bacon. When you're nauseous after getting off the teacups, and that's the first thing you smell, that is brutal. Now, I can't physically. Here's the thing, I don't know why I get so nauseous on that ride. I get massive nausea on that ride, but because I have no stomach, I cannot throw up. And I will tell you that the struggle was real the day of the bacon. The bacon was brutal.
I smell bacon. That's what they're saying in the chat. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I almost got kicked off of teacups when I was younger. My friends got in a cup, and there was an opening for me, but they were way ahead of me. I cut the line.
Oh yeah.
Went in to sit with them. Tweedledee and Tweedledum were outside and saw me do it. They held the exit gate open and were doing this to me. So I took a picture with my camera of him doing this. I have it in my album. That's him trying to get me off the ride because I skipped the line. And I'm like,
done. All those times I should have just cut in line, and then they would have kicked me out of the line.
They would have
done.
Yep. It was a character. It was a character who got me, not a cast member. Oh gosh.
I got to tell you something. There's a lot of streamers that don't like doing that ride.
Wow.
Probably because of me, and they see what my viewership did with that. They probably don't mention it. But I'm going to tell you something. There's a bunch of streamers I know for a fact will not do that ride.
You can't just sit there and have it not spin, right? Will it just stay put? Or will you still go around?
It'll keep going. So what you have to do is you kind of have to put your legs underneath the wheel to keep it from turning.
Tweedledum.
But so what I would do is I would go on there, and I would with my knees, I would hold that middle wheel as tight as I could so it wouldn't spin.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now,
all right.
Was with me, I couldn't do that. And I think the worst spin I ever got was from Mike Owen. Mike Owen got me the worst. Because when I got off that ride, I thought I was going to die. It was the worst. No doubt about it. And I told Mike just came down, and I was like, I'm not getting on the teacups with you.
Okay. Yeah, people are actually looking for your YouTube channel as we speak. There's people in here.
Yeah.
Some people can't find it. So if they were to look for you on YouTube, is the channel still there?
Yeah, it's still there. And okay. I will put all those streams back. I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
I took a lot down, but there's still a lot that's still up there. So it's still there.
Hey, Brian Royer, we just spent 30 minutes while he's not streaming anymore. So you're going to have to rewind and watch. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. Teacups are my favorite. Yeah. So,
yeah. I will tell you, there were some attractions I loved to stream on. I think one of my favorite streaming moments was doing something that nobody else in the community was doing. I would get on Rock and Roller Coaster and stream it. And I would hook up a GoPro and I'd go stream Rock and Roller Coaster. Nobody else was doing that. Everybody's trying to do a phone on a chest cam. I'm using a GoPro and I'm going on Tron. The week that they said, okay, we're not going to allow any more phones on Space Mountain, I put a GoPro on and I said, oh, let's go ride Space Mountain. I really loved doing that because I wanted to show people, hey, I'll do stuff that nobody else can do. Because there's a process for doing that. Not that they can't do it, but I was amazed at how many people in the community were not technically proficient. I was always blown away by that.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would do is I would mess around with equipment. I would work with Amanda, and we would test stuff until we knew what it would do and what it wouldn't do. And then we would go out there and we would, when that day I did Rock and Roller Coaster, I knew it was going to work. I knew if I did this and I did it this exact same way, that everything was going to be fine. And, you know, and people are like, oh my God, he's actually going to stream Rock and Roller Coaster. And then we did it. You know, I'm not saying that that other people haven't done it or,
you need the right equipment. It'll be tricky. It'd be tricky if someone who just,
well, it's tricky when you go from a phone app to a GoPro like that.
Yeah.
Not people will do that. And, you know, there are some good streamers. There's some amazing streamers out there. I mean, I think somebody that did it maybe better than I did, probably Spokesman, because he had a certain camera that he used, and then he would switch to a GoPro, but he had different software that he used. But I don't think he ever used the GoPro in filming situations on rides, and I don't think he ever streamed Rock and Roller Coaster. Could be wrong, but he might have.
Yeah.
But I think as far as how I did things, he was probably better at it. But I was proud that I did things the way I did it. I loved having the intro in the beginning. I loved having the outro at the end. I loved the ability to play Victor's ad. So there were a lot of good things that I was able to do that I was really proud of. But streaming those rides were just amazing. I really had a field day doing that.
That's awesome. I know Crystal Palace, a friend of this channel too. You know, Crystal, she uses I think a GoPro when she's in Universal doing some of those rides.
She is. I remember I met her once at Universal during the stream, ironically, and I told her before that I think she's got an opportunity to be one of the biggest YouTubers in the community. She's so smart. She's so talented. She's very pretty. She's very young. This is a young person's game. But, and she's just got this something, she's got that it factor that I think few people have. And, you know, I know she was, in the beginning, she was doing videos and they were getting, you know, okay views. But then all of a sudden she started blowing up. And I remember telling her, I'm like, just keep posting videos. Don't be one dimensional. Don't just go to Disney or don't just go to Universal. Do a bunch of other things. And boy, she's done that. And I'm so proud of her. I mean, she's so good at what she does.
She's getting 85,000 views in like a day and a half on some of her streams, her videos. So she's very good at it.
She's going to be bigger than anybody soon. You know, I am so happy for her success.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, we talked to her. In fact, she's going to be a guest on my show coming up very soon.
Okay.
She agreed to do a show with me, as well as busy getting Disney. I don't know if you know Wes. He's also a streamer.
So.
Yeah, he's also he works on airplanes. He's for American Airlines too. So he's all around. Oh my gosh. So those are a few people coming on my show, and we got to schedule it, but it's going to be within the next month, everyone. Just let you know.
Any more questions?
Something about Beverly in here. How much Beverly do you think you drank? What was this here? Oh, that's I can only imagine. That's bad.
I got to tell you something. You know, we did a challenge where I drank a bunch of Beverly's that day. And that was brutal. I don't want to be too graphic or gross, but I got to tell you, I probably could have put out a towering I probably could have put out the World Trade, or not I could probably put out the Empire State Building that day.
Oh,
I was just, I mean, I had way too much Beverly. I don't even want to think about that day.
that's unbelievable.
It
Oh
was
my gosh.
a lot. It was a lot. But you know, that was something that was something that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to do that.
All right, so some questions I got. These are just regular questions for you. Okay, I'm gonna just give you quick answers to these. Ready?
Okay.
Are you a person who will buy something online because of the price of it, or will you check the ratings of it?
I check. I go in there. I know exactly what I want, and but or sometimes I hear about a product, and I'll go and look and see what other people are saying. And if there's like a bunch of reviews, and then there's like this other person, you know, because sometimes, you know, if there's all these other people love it, and they're sitting there giving examples of how it's better, you know, that they have this product. Then that's something I would want to buy. But if it's something, you know, I mean, I really go on product reviews. But if it's like 3 or 4 people are just killing it, you know, I'm like, okay, well, then this is safe. But I do buy a lot of. Amanda and I both buy a lot of stuff online. And first thing we do when we don't know, you know, which product's the best. I sit there and I rely on those product reviews. Heck yeah.
Fantastic. Who's the best popcorn thief out there?
She is.
She knows it.
Her, you know, both at the same time are the best popcorn thieves.
Now, your collection behind you, is that mostly mugs? Is that what you specialize in?
Yeah. Although the mugs are in glass cabinets.
Yeah.
Throughout the house. If you join our Discord, I've got a spot in there you guys can go look at, and it's got the mug thing in there. Basically, this is a lantern. I meant to light these, and I totally forgot to do it. So I've got the Poison Apple lantern, and I've got the Mickey Pumpkin lantern, and then I've got this. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can. I don't know if you can kind of. It's the Magic Band scanner.
Oh yeah. I saw it.
So let me see if I can turn the camera that way. There it is.
Yeah.
So the Magic Band, and it'll actually
make the noise. Yeah, there it is.
There it is. So behind our couch, we've just got all this. We got some of the things we've collected over the years. There's a lot more. And this is part of it.
Where'd you get that scanner? Where'd you get the scanner, by the way?
I won this in an auction.
Oh,
with
wow.
Magic Stream. Spokesman did a, you know, he does Magic Stream all, you know, for Give Kids the World. And we streamed in it 2 years. And this was an item that was there, and I really wanted it. Amanda got it for me for Christmas, and she just happened to win it.
That is awesome. What a great thing to have. I love that.
And amazing. Yeah, it's an awesome thing.
Oh, yes. They're all talking about what's this question here? Who makes the best cars on Test Track?
It is definitely not.
Oh my gosh.
They know who they're not. I can question.
Oh my gosh. Is there some tech that you have, some electronics you have that are out of date that you still use?
I still like playing old school video games.
Oh yeah.
So I have now I don't have like an old Atari or an old Apple or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I do have emulators from arcade games in the 80s, and I like Centipede, Pac-Man. I play them all the time.
Oh, I love those. Yep.
And
Galaga. I like Galaga too.
Other one, Dig Dug.
Yeah.
And I went, one of my last bonuses from when I was working, I bought a X-Arcade tank stick that's got 2 joysticks and a trackball, and I play with that thing constantly. Now that I've stopped streaming, I have a lot more time to play the arcade games. So I guess if I was going to sit there and say, oh, technology, that's probably what I would say. As soon as I get off of this thing, I'm going to be like, Damn, I should have said that.
Retro games, everyone likes them.
Love
Oh
retro.
man, I still use an electric can opener sometimes, and they never work. They never work. The can falls off, or it's not quite all the way
Yeah.
around.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I hate those. Oh my gosh. Triton still plays Pong without a shirt on. Yeah, he does that.
I think Pong is one of the games that I have. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Remember Super Breakout?
Oh my head. Yeah, with the those
Yeah.
controllers. Yep.
I've actually been looking on eBay for the paddle. A paddle
You should be able to find one.
on it, and because I've got the Atari emulator to play Breakout, I just don't have the paddle. So it's not like you can't use a joystick for that.
No. Hey, Brian, we're just about out of time here tonight. So I want to thank you and everyone who came in tonight. We've been on for over an hour. Brian nicely came on. Everyone, he still has social media. Yeah.
Yeah, just real quickly. I am very active in our Facebook group. I'm still active on Instagram. I haven't posted anything on Instagram in a while. Kind of what I think how YouTube is going to go for me from this point on is if I get invited to any Passholder previews or anything like that, or I decide I'm going to do a quiet stroll through a park, I'll probably film it and put it up there. I'm not going to say I'm not going to do videos anymore. I'm not going to say that. I'm just not going to do live streaming anymore.
That's okay. That's okay, Brian. We understand after tonight. We do.
Yeah.
But Florida Park Passholder, everyone. Florida Park Passholder. You know, Brian, before I go tonight, I usually say one thing to the chat, and you may know this by now. Like my game show, I end it the same way all the time. You know, we get people to get their scissor emojis out. So if you can find those in the chat, everyone, get your scissor emojis ready. I want to see them in the chat because many people are actually adopting pets this time of year, but you really need to get them spayed or neutered, everyone. So help control that pet population, like Bob Barker always says. And as we go out tonight, we're just going to conclude with two things, everyone.
Bring your Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, Cheshire Cat. There you go.
Thank you for putting on a shirt. And Pierce is fired.
Oh, yes.
Started. I wasn't ready. Can we have a countdown? Oh God. Oh God. I got nothing to look at. Oh God, there's Chucky. That's even worse. Oh my God. Oh, holy God. Oh my God. Dude, look at the gimbal. The gimbal's all jacked up. Oh my God. Mike, think of the children.
I'm just focusing on you because
Son of a... Oh my God. That break is gonna suck. Oh my God. Try not to think about it. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is awful. Oh my God. That chili dog. You gotta think about the chili dog. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh God. I'm done for the year.